Hi, what's up guys, and welcome to this video about how Tinder saved my dating life. In this video, I'm gonna cover some topics. It's gonna be should you start using Tinder, my first date in detail, and why it's so good, bro. Listen, I've told this story and talked to my friends about Tinder, and a lot of them has told me like, yo, it doesn't work for average guys. I am as average as they come. I am average height, average looks, average everywhere, unfortunately, but Tinder saved my life anyways. And I feel like a lot of people write it off just because everyone else tells them it doesn't work, or they tried once and it didn't work. Listen, there's some steps that you should do for it to work, um, but we'll get into it. All right. My dating life before Tinder. So I had never hugged or kissed a girl at 18 or 19. I don't remember exactly when I lost my virginity, to be honest. Um, but it was around 18 or 19, right? Which is before I started Tinder. I was a little bit into my looks maxing journey at this point, but not too far into it, right? Didn't look that good yet. Definitely was still around a 5, maybe a 4.5, something like that. But at the end of the day, I was still a hugless and kissless guy, yeah, which is kind of sad because I feel like most guys have at least hugged a girl, but that does not matter. I thought I was undateable, literally thought I was undateable. I felt like this guy, literally, but he went further than me. He literally is hugging a girl and kissed a girl in this video. I seen the video. I was like, how can he do it? I can't. But whatever. I was super alone, actually extremely isolated. I felt so much like I don't know how to explain it, but like I was extremely alone. Like I felt like no one wanted me. I was again undateable and like just in general, bro, I felt like it was hard to escape where I was, but I didn't want to be alone, you know? But at the end of the day, it was kind of like my comfort zone, if that makes sense. Uh, I think this one comes without saying. I was extremely socially awkward. I could barely go outside. I felt like all my social skills was never developed because I was always by myself, and it was not only with the opposite sex, it was more so like in general. But of course, I can talk to my boys and stuff, but like that's not the same. I was extremely socially awkward, and it's not only Tinder, guys, but Tinder definitely did a big thing for my life. So why is Tinder so good? There's three big points, but one of them is time investment. Listen, for me, it takes about 5 minutes to 10 minutes to get in and out. Yeah, I can go in the morning or at night or both. If you want to really optimize it, you should do it both. You know, you have like those 12 hours where you can swipe. You can swipe once in the morning and once at night and leave it, right? You can text a couple girls, and then leave it and then wait the next day. Maybe you have some responses, right? It obviously works better in big cities. I think that's without saying. I personally live in Denmark and it works amazing. It's quite a small country, but um, it works really good here. I've also been to Sweden. Works great there. Uh, it works amazing in UK. It works great in Germany. I have a friend who did this in Iceland. Didn't work that well there, but it worked. Still worked. Just a little bit less results if there's less people. I think that makes sense. I don't think you expect to see more results the less people that there are, right? I think you understand what you're getting yourself into, but I don't know about the US. I still have no friends from the US that have actually tried it. So if you're from the US and you want me to help you make a Tinder profile, hey, hit me up. I'll gladly help you. Just, show me the results. All right, when you shouldn't use Tinder yet. This is also extremely important. You should not use Tinder when you're not looks maxed. Makes no sense. If you haven't reached your potential yet, right? Let's say you're a 4 or 5 and you haven't even started your journey yet, why would you focus on females? Females should not be your primary focus, at least in the beginning, right? You should focus on getting better, looking better, and again, if you're below a 4.4 out of 10, you're not going to have any luck. It isn't true that Tinder doesn't work for average guys, but it is true that it does not work if you're below 4. It just doesn't. Women have too many options, and they would never choose you. I mean, it is what it is. You have different routes, um, just not Tinder. Uh, you have zero income or direction yet. Listen, you need some money or some education or something because the women are going to ask you, listen, what do you do for a living? You can lie, sure, lie all you want. But if you have nothing to show for the lie that you're telling, it's gonna be hard. Like if you're like 20 and you don't have a car, and you tell her like you're a multi-millionaire. I have some friends that did that. Listen, she's not gonna believe you for long, okay? I also have a friend who has a really nice car but has no job. Like is super like down bad, but girls believe him because he has a really nice car and dresses nice, you know? So, but in my opinion, just get an education or something you can say that you do every day. Like say you go to school for civil engineering, right? That's attractive. Or you work by yourself and you're, whatever, right? Have a direction, have a source of income, have something. Not to go on dates, right? If you want to know my thoughts on how to text girls, there's a video on my channel for that. Don't take girls on dates on the first date at least. Don't take them out to eat or something like that. I explained it in my other video, but just don't do that. That's not what it's for. It's more for you and so you have something to show for yourself. Another reason to use Tinder is it's used by the most people. Stats don't lie, and right here you see 72% of people use Tinder. Bumble, I don't know anyone who uses this in Europe. This might be a US thing, but in Europe it's more than 72%, which is another reason why you should not use. Look at Hinge. I feel like if you use Hinge and there's 9%, 8% are going to be men. 1% is going to be women. But also, who uses these things? Use Tinder, bro. And I promise you, you have such a big dating pool in Tinder. All right. How to use Tinder for best results. Use a maximum of 10 minutes a day, right? You shouldn't use more than 10 minutes a day. It's just, listen, what you do is you wake up in the morning, right? Brush your teeth, whatever. While you're doing that, swipe until you cannot swipe anymore. Then at night, go back, check if anyone wrote to you. If no one did, swipe again. You know what I mean? And then look through the matches, write to them. And guys, do not get too invested. What I mean by that is if a girl is not texting you back, or if you're texting a girl and you're enjoying the convo, don't get invested into it on Tinder. Get her into Snapchat or Instagram or her number. Me personally, I don't like Instagram. I have a whole, listen, the other video about how to text girls explains that pretty well. Uh, so go watch that if you want a detailed explanation, but don't get them on Instagram. Get them on Snap or WhatsApp messages, whatever. Listen, do not buy premium. Just a waste of money. Uh, you might see more matches or whatever, but like, trust me on this one. I've had a friend who bought premium, and we kind of like compared results. He's more attractive than me. He got more matches than me, but we went on basically the same amount of dates within like 6 months. So like, don't buy it. It's not really worth it, and it makes you put way more time in, right? And it also like contradicts this one, which is don't get too invested. So don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Also, ask for the girl snap within 5 messages. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Here's some examples from our other video. You can go to the other video if you really want to like see more detailed explanations and more examples. This is my experiences. Listen, 2 messages, and I said send your snap. 2 messages, send your snap, and this girl just sent me her snap. Also, you can see that in the video. So, last but not least, my Tinder date. This was my first ever Tinder date. It was not with this girl, unfortunately, but she looked a lot like this girl, right? I'm not gonna lie, maybe this girl's like a 7.5 out of 10. The girl that I met was like a 7, right? So a very attractive girl. Um, and I'll tell you guys the story. So I got her on Tinder, of course, we matched, and I got her onto Snapchat very fast, right? I gave her a compliment, got her on Snap, and that was it. We spoke for months. Literally, I spoke with this woman for 3, 4 months on Snapchat. I don't know what, like, again, I was socially awkward at the time, so I didn't know how to invite a girl like out. We ended up going to her place. She invited me over one night randomly. I went to her place. We snuck into her house basically, and it's so awkward, but we had to wait until like her parents fell asleep. Mind you, I'm 19 at this time. She's 18 or whatever, and like we're waiting for her parents to fall asleep. So we're sitting on the floor in darkness. It was kind of awkward. Um, we ended up watching a movie, and you know, she ended up telling me to kiss her. I'm not kidding. That's literally what happened. After like 2 hours, she got annoyed with me because bro, I wasn't, I didn't even hug a girl, so I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So this girl turned around, looked at me, and said, "Do you not want to kiss me?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she's like, "So kiss me, mother seki." It's not exactly what she said, but basically that's what happened. She just didn't say mother seki, but the rest is actually true. She was the girl who took my virginity a month later or something, and became my girlfriend for around 2 years. I don't think it actually was 2 years. It might have been like one and a half or whatever. But listen, the point of the story and the big takeaway from this video should be use Tinder if you're not already using it. If you don't get matches, hey, you're doing something wrong, right? Every single guy that I've seen gets some type of matches, unless you're like extremely niche maxed, which I'll talk about later. Like if you're a goth head, like if you have black hair and rock on, dude, it might be a little bit harder because not many girls are into that. Um, but yeah, the takeaway should be please use Tinder, guys. It's gonna change the way you date for real because you have so many options on Tinder, and even if you're an average looking guy, I promise you, you're gonna get results. Just gotta be patient also. Listen, number one focus, looks max, and then on the side, just swipe on Tinder once a day or whatever. You're gonna get some results, yeah. Thank you for watching. I think that was it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video, if there is a next video. You never know.